Today we're going to cook one of my favourite cuts of beef. Well, welcome along to Barbecue Life, home of the Kamado Bono. Today we're cooking flanken style beef ribs. So these are a beef short rib that instead of having your nice big bones that we cook as a big joint, these are cut through the bone. So you have little discs of bone surrounded by meat, about a centimetre thick, and they are absolutely fantastic. You cook them directly over a high heat and they crisp up and char up and take on such a wonderful flavour. So I have cooked some before as a little tester for my rub, but these ones are going to be in a Korean style and they are absolutely fantastic. So we've got the ribs laid out on the board, and as you can see that, as I said, you've got little discs of bone in there. So these are 4 bones long and they're about a centimetre, maybe a centimetre and a half thick, and we need to get some seasoning on. So I'm going on with my own seasoning, the umami oomph powder. If you don't own that and you're not interested in that, then just go on with salt, pepper, garlic. You just want a standard base of flavour, and my oomph powder is my standard base of flavour. It is my SPG at the moment. People that don't know about that, it's a no salt, no added salt rub, low sodium with naturally occurring salt in there, so it's only 1% salt across the rub, when some of the barbecue rubs out there are up to over 40% salt in there, which is just absolutely horrific. But let's move on. We're going to get these dusted over with that, both sides, get them nicely covered, get them off to one side while we make our marinade. So you need a blender for this ideally. Other than that, you could chop things up incredibly small, but a blender is going to make things much easier. So what we need to do is, into our blending cup, we need to go in with 60 millilitres of rice wine vinegar, or 1/4 of a cup, depending on how it is that you want to work things. The same of a low sodium soy sauce of 60 millilitres or a 1/4 cup. 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, 4 cloves of garlic, a nice size thumb piece of ginger, so that is the length of my thumb and about the same width. Really nice chunk of that, and a pear that I've peeled and quartered. And then we're going in with some hot sauce to taste. So if you want it hotter, then you can add more hot sauce. If you want it less hot, then add less hot sauce. But I just gave it a good squirt. Ideally, I wanted to use, I don't know how you pronounce it, gochujang, something like that, the fermented chili and soybeans and things like that. But I'm really struggling to get hold of it without spending a fortune, and I'm not spending a fortune on something that I'm not going to use that often. My wife can't eat fermented foods, it messes her up. So it comes in a big tub, and I'm not going to use enough of it to really be going out of my way and spending a fortune. But the adding of the chili sauce in its place works incredibly well. So we need to get that off, get that blended, and it goes a very strange brown colour, but it tastes absolutely amazing. Now's the point to go in with a spoon. If you want it hotter, then you can add more hot sauce. Remember that when you're adding it to begin with. You can always add more afterwards. You can't take it away. So we now need to get our ribs into a bag or a pot, anything that we can marinate them in. So I'm just going back into the original bag that they were sent to me in, that they've sat in the freezer. I'm going to get that sauce poured over the top, give them a nice toss through, make sure that everything is completely covered, and then get the air out of that bag and get them sealed and go into the fridge for about 6 hours. Don't go any longer than 8, because the acids in there will over tenderise the meat and it will just become mush. 6 is about right. You need it to tenderise the meat to an extent, because when I didn't tenderise the meat the first time I had flanken ribs, they were still quite tough. By tenderising it using this marinade, or any marinade, I've still got some more in the fridge, so I am going to come up with another recipe. We're going to tenderise them in another way. But 6 hours seems to be the magic number. I've done loads of research. That's what we went for, and they were super tender and absolutely fantastic. So after that 6 hours, we need to get them out and get them onto the side, and we can get our grill lit. So we've just gone in with some Texas Club charcoal and 3 fire lighters. We want to do this as our direct cook, so we've got charcoal all over the bottom of the ceramic. get some fire lighters in. Once they're going, we can add some more charcoal to the top so we can get a really fierce high heat for these ribs. You want all of them vents completely open while things are coming up to temperature, and then once the ceramic is soaked up that heat and it's warm to the touch on the outside, we can start to dial our vents in. So I've got 3.5 fingers in the bottom vent, and the top vent is all the way open to 3. So that's as far as it can go without actually opening the daisy wheel on the hinge. So once that's come up to 250, 300 degrees C, which is a really high temperature for grilling these ribs, we're just going to go on as a direct cook. So we're just going to lay them onto the grill grates, shut that lid down, and every 3 minutes we're going to be going in and we're going to be flipping and moving, because you're going to have hot spots within that charcoal. Some pieces of charcoal are going to be burning hotter than others. So if you're starting to really get a char on one piece and you're not getting it on another, swap them over when you're flipping, so that we're keeping things cooking at the same sort of rate, building a nice colour and char on this. You want little black pieces, you want that fat to catch, you want the sugars to catch just slightly. You don't want to be building things up to a crisp, so just keep things moving until we've got a nice colour. So every 3 minutes I'm in there, I'm checking, I'm flipping, and I'm swapping around until we've got a nice even colour all the way over. So once we've got that nice even colour, we are cooking this to a well done temperature or over. We're not worrying about keeping this pink in the middle. That's not how we're going to keep these ribs tender. We want to be taking them to a higher temperature, like we do with short rib when we're cooking it as a whole joint. We take it up into the higher temperatures to tenderise the meat. So that's exactly what we're doing here. We just keep building colour and bringing that temperature up. Once you're happy with the colour, you can go in. If it's over 74 degrees, then we're happy to go. If it's up into the 80s and 90s, it's even better. So we're going to take these off, pop these onto a plate, and put them there and let them rest. And now we can cook some nice sticky rice to go with it. So we're cooking this whole meal today. So we're going to go on with a cast iron pan directly where them ribs have been. So we've got the direct heat underneath, got a little bit of oil in that pan, leave that in there for a couple of minutes to come up to temperature. And we're going to sprinkle some spring onions into that oil, just get them cooking. And then we've got some bagged microwave rice. So this is just standard bagged microwave rice. But when you're cooking something like a stir fry rice in the Kamado, indoors, whatever, it is the best rice to use. Rather than cooking rice that you boil and then cooling it and cooking it, it tends to go too sticky. I've seen that you can air dry it in the fridge, but it's so much faff. I picked up this bag of rice for 50p. And it's just absolutely fantastic. So we're going to dump that bag of rice in there, go on with a spoon of umami powder as well, just to give it an extra bit of kick. And then we're going to just keep that moving in that frying pan every couple of minutes. You're going to get some little gnarly bits that stick to the bottom, scrape them off because it's all flavour. Just keep that moving, keep that moving. When it's cooked through and hot, we're going to take a couple of eggs and pour them over the top, and then stir them through the rice itself, and you're going to get a really nice sticky egg fried rice. It's only going to take a minute and a half once you've added that egg, so don't add it too early. You want to make sure you've got a lot of heat in that rice. Once that's cooked through, we can take that off, pop that off to one side, and it's time to plate up. So we've got our ribs nicely stacked up across the back of the plate, and we can spoon some rice in front of those, and then dress it off with some more of that spring onion across the ribs and some sesame seeds, and we're done. Let's go over to the taste test, because these are absolutely fantastic. So I've got to be pretty careful with my elbows. This Kamado's blisteringly hot behind me, but here we have the finished product. I actually think I'm going to go for some of this rice first. That's really nice. A little bit of heat from that umami powder, but not a lot, it's quite subtle. It just lifts, like I keep trying to tell people. So let's get one of these ribs. It's definitely much more tender than the last
a lot of flank and ribs I did, which I only just covered in umami and powder when it was in its what's the word, experimental stage, where we were still working out flavours and things like that. But by putting it in that marinade with the acids in there, it has really broken it down and made it so much more tender. They taste fantastic. There's a little kick of heat from that sriracha in there. They're just, I don't even know how to explain it, I just want more. They're sweet, they're savoury, a little bit of heat. What they are is just absolutely spot on. You've got to give this a try. So if you like what we're doing here at Barbecue Life, then please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.